Now, one of the things when we talk of empowerment is, of course, women. It's a fine line between balancing what you do at home and of course your work. And although we were just discussing how important it is how women obviously are part and parcel of the Sri Lankan economy, there are certain social norms that kind of let women believe that they need to always be the one taking a step back. It's a fine line, and it's one that obviously over the generations we can't define. But Rami, if you can talk to us a little bit about what WIM's ideas on this particular matter is.
You mean work-life balance?
On work-life balance.
Actually, WIM's ideas as well as some of our own, work-life balance means like that you do what you have to do regardless of who gets the credit in both places, at home as well as in office. And which means that WIM, one of its main values is integrity. Integrity is consistency of character. And consistency of character means that you do your best and you do your utmost at every given time, whether you are supervised or not. And you do it very often, it's not for yourself, but it's for others. And it's virtually like something I believe in, which is a laid down life, right? So if you work according to your conscience, you empower. Even at your house, you empower your children. You also empower your spouse. And you create that synergy and that synchronicity to try and, get them to work towards a common objective. It's almost like, replicating what you do in the house, in your office, and what you do in the office in your house. There is no difference if you go to see it. But the main thing is the conscience is the thing that takes that makes a difference. That you get paid for something you do, you don't get paid for something you do. But you make sure that you do your best. And the teamwork is there, the integrity is there, the commitment is there, the achieving goals is there, the empowerment is all there. So, as far as WIM is concerned, it's the same thing. Common goals in different locations. We are the wives, the mothers, the daughters-in-law, the sisters-in-law. And as this reputed brand international CEO said, you are who you are. But in your house, you don't bring in that corporate identity through your garage or your door. You leave it in your office. It's the same way in the office. You don't bring your baggage of your bad hair days and your bad mornings and your plumbing breaking down like what happened to me today. You just leave it. You come to office, you do a professional job, you be an example, you mentor, and you take care of your workplace as you have been entrusted to and according to your mandate. So that's how I see that.
That's how it's seen. It's a lot of good advice here on the morning show. Priyanka, let's talk a little bit about you. Obviously, work in training and really going out there and talking to people. You have a one-on-one experience with a lot of people. Do you believe that the kind of work you do can alleviate and help people who are in less fortunate situations or with poverty, especially? How do you feel like that kind of training can empower women who are in those situations?
Yes, of course, I believe it. Because there is a saying, if you want to predict the future, you better create it. So that is what it is we are doing. You see, as a trainer, in Sri Lanka, I think the last few years, we have a dependency syndrome. Right? We always try to depend on others. But we don't know what we can do. As a trainer, what we are trying to do, we are not going to tell them what to do. We are trying to let them identify what you are good at it. And through your talent, through your capabilities, we are trying to lift their life and find out what you can do. We all have talents. We all are unique as a human being. So therefore, I believe totally we won't be able to eliminate in the poverty because we talk about all over the world. But you can do it if you really want to make a change. Mm-hmm. So as a women, we are the people starting in our home. You see, in my grandmother, all of our grandmothers used to say, even when you are preparing your rice, right, we always keep something little out in the hidden. You take it in your rainy days. You see, that is how you have to start it. So if you can sew, if you can cook, if you can write, if you can talk, like we all, so there is an opportunity out there. You have to seek for it. So that is what we try to show them. There are a lot of opportunities there. If you want to, go and grab it and make your life better. As Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to be, and you see the change in yourself first.
Oh, Priyanka, over the years, I'm sure you would have met a lot of people and worked very closely with people. Were there any stories in particular? And I know this isn't something we discussed, but was there any story in particular? Any really strong memories of people whose lives have completely changed through this training process?
Of course. I would like to take lot of example from the WIM rather than try to talk about, because I have been training internationally as well. But I know our Sulochana is really an example. She is a person who go where other people scared to go. She goes to all these beach sides, all these places, the people who are looking for help. So she can tell you more than me how we have uplifted a lot of stories. People who didn't have anything at all, but when the women go and talk to them, now today they are better entrepreneurs. We are, I think,
Sulochana, maybe if you can just tell on, because obviously there are people who have there are great stories, and sometimes we need these stories to inspire us and to remind us why we need to go out there and also speak and inspire others to do what you do. So maybe a story about
most of our training we get suicide victims, then rape victims, and single mothers who doesn't have a marriage certificate even, so we call them single mothers even though we are not allowed. They said women-headed household. So there was this single mother, I won't say single mother, this lady. I'll just say the area, it was Trincomalee. When I went there, they said is what we are going to get. Then I said, you will get a lot of things, but you all have to sacrifice 3 days. Then this mother came and cried and said, if I'm coming for 3 days, my children will be really hungry. I said, don't worry, I'll give the food, you can take home. So when the first day came, this lady was, she was very beautiful, even though she looks very old. I just asked, how old are you? Then she said, I'm 31 years old. And I said, I normally visit their homes after the training to see them. Then on the second day, she was very keen in training, but when we gave them a buffet, it was not much, but like the chicken, and the few women were crying. Then I asked, why you all crying? No, it's like a wedding for us. Then on the third day, this lady cried and said, Miss, I still remember, Miss, I thought after the training when I go home that this is not going to be use. This is not use for me. I have to kill myself with the 2 kids, and this is my 3rd attempt for the suicide. And I was shocked, and I said, why? What's wrong? Then she was telling me her husband has got caught to a fisherman in India, and he has been there for 3 months. Then suddenly he was released. He came. He was a different man. And he has put fire to all the children's books and everything. Then I asked her what you can do. She said, I'm a good cook. And I said, what you can cook? Then she said, all the traditional food. So what I told her was, okay, I'll come home. The next day I went to her home, and when I went to home, I was realizing how they are living. The condition was so bad. I said, okay, your food is really, she was making really tasty food. But I said, you made the food and I'll help you to do the packaging. So we helped her to do the real packaging, and I'm happy to say most of her products are coming to Colombo.
That's a good story. We need to talk to Sulochana a little bit more, and of course Ramya and Priyankani about these inspiring stories with him, and of course the award ceremony that's happening on the 25th in honouring the excellence of women in different categories and different genres. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Right now we'll take another quick break. Make sure you come back.